Welcome to the Recycle Podcast, where we discuss everyday issues from a mental health perspective. We are your hosts,
Dr. LaFonya Jones,
Dr. Rashonda Strickland,
and Dr. Nichelle Wall. Now, don't get it twisted. We're not going to be your stereotypical therapist.
What we will be is down to earth, informative, a little spicy, and vulnerable.
All right, interns, turn up the volume, grab your pen and paper. It's supervision time. As a reminder, this podcast is not meant to take the place of a relationship with a licensed mental health professional.
Welcome back to session 26, Movie Mental Breakdown, this Christmas, 2007.
That sounds like such a long time ago.
It was.
13 years.
Yeah.
Almost 14 years ago. Wow, that's crazy. Really makes you think about how old you are.
Y'all old, I'm young.
Thank you.
Says the oldest. Okay.
Thank you for that correction. I'm 37 years young.
I'm 37 as well.
Whatever.
Okay, so this movie is starring Delroy Lindo as Joy.
Joseph or Joe.
Joe. I think I was thinking Delroy. My brain was like, yeah, you're going to turn that into Joy.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Idris Elba as Quentin.
Come on, Idrissa.
Madeir is played by Loretta Devine. Baby is played by Chris Brown. Devin is played by Keith Robertson.
He's so fine, y'all. Chocolate. Let me come back. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get my life together. I'm not really, but
One day. Malcolm is played by Laz Alonso, who is definitely fine.
he's muy guapo.
Claude is played by Columbus Short. Kelly is played by Sharon Leal. Mel played by Lauren London.
R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
Lisa played by Regina King, not Regina Hall. And I'm gonna do that every time one of them is in a movie.
Yeah.
They different.
Yes. Dude is played by Ronnie Warner, and Mo is played by David Banner.
David Banner.
I know. So, side note, I low-key find the current David Banner
Oh, that man is fine.
super attractive.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I find him intellectually attractive as well.
That gray hair.
I was like,
Black-
wait a minute, when
black
did David
men.
Banner get fine?
He been fine. He been fine. He had moments where he go back to his old ways, and then he come back and the fineness come back out. That's what it is.
I was like, okay, David Banner. But so we might do this breakdown a little bit different, guys, because this movie has 11 scene changes in it.
In like 5 seconds.
Yeah, so it was really difficult to try to break this movie down by scene. We will attempt to do that as best we can. But hopefully as you listen to this and watch the movie, you'll be able to tie all of these things together, like any of the other breakdowns.
Just so the listeners know, our lovely interns, the movie is broken down like by days, and so the siblings and the family are going to be doing things simultaneously, like at the same time. So it's like jumping. So when you watch it, all of this is happening in the course of 2 to 3 days.
So the opening scene, there's not really a whole lot going on in the very opening of the movie.
It's just a character intro.
Just kind of showing everybody. And I did say, though, I wrote in my notes that Malcolm was already showing some mildly controlling behaviors.
I said that too.
Like right off the bat.
That
Right.
tension.
Ooh, I was like, you start off being a
Like,
butthole.
He was like, what'd he say? Why you not already in the car? Because I'm doing something.
Right.
Why you ain't in the car?
And why you didn't get the kids in the car?
Yes.
So you just let me come back. We done went too far. We're not at that scene yet.
Oh yeah, that one's way at the end. But
Yeah.
but I was like, dang, he's starting off.
Yeah. Being controlling.
Yeah, you do find out in the one of the opening scenes that Madeir is hiding her relationship from her children, even though they know, and is asking
With Joe,
and is asking him to like pack up his stuff and put it in the garage, and he got to stay at his place for the weekend.
and he was like, "When you gonna just tell them?"
Right.
Because first of all, baby, no,
They all grown.
Yeah,
they all
everybody.
grown, and baby, no, and what's her name? Regina
Lisa.
King. Lisa already know too that you.
Well, everybody know except for Junior, Quentin Junior.
Yeah.
And Mel didn't.
And Mel, but
Yeah.
she
was in
special.
college.
And she seemed cool with it once she found out.
Yeah.
So then it kind of jumps over it. Like, again, this is about the kind of character introduction. Idris Elba is he playing an instrument?
He's playing
Yeah.
the saxophone.
The saxophone. Okay.
The Barry sax. I believe it was
Yes.
in Chicago.
What I wrote in my notes, I said the scene is not funny, but it is funny because I was like, it just went from 0 to 60 like real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said he just hit him over the head with that bottle, and then it was like, oh, okay, it's on.
Run.
Right.
Run. And I said, boy, you trying to escape something if you willing to jump out a window like with no hesitation.
You didn't know
I
what was
was
there.
like, sir, you didn't break your ribs? Because, like, you hit that rail hard.
But in real life, you would have bounced off that glass. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Bam. Oh, you're dead. Like, come on now.
I said, boy, he was really trying to get out of there because you just like dived
Yeah.
Yeah.
straight for a window.
He's running from Mo and Dude. We don't have his
bookies.
names yet, but that's their names. The only other thing that I would add about the intro, well, only other two things is that baby got that early Christmas present, and we kind of see how Joe is doting on the kids and how he takes care of the kids, but you also see that mom is like, I don't necessarily want you doing certain things. You can see she still got a grasp on him.
But you also see how he also is trying to get her to loosen up the reins a little bit.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
let the boy take his
He gotta
pictures.
breathe.
Yeah.
And then we also find out that Madeir owns a
Dry cleaners.
a dry cleaner and is signing checks and things.
I know. I was like,
Must be nice. Come on now.
can I sign checks like that? Like, hey, here's your share of the profits.
Y'all do every year.
I'm glad you slid that on in there.
And the other funny thing I said about this scene, the one with baby in it, I was like, hold on. So he is not grown, but he riding off on a motorcycle?
I feel like he probably is already 18.
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to say
You know what
18 or
I'm saying?
19 or
but
something.
he hasn't left the house yet.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, you rode off on a motorcycle?
Because you got to think, in order for him to get into the spot later, he has
Had
to
to
be
be old
18.
enough.
Because
Yeah.
it wasn't
18. Okay.
teen night. It was like,
Okay.
you know.
Thanks for that correction.
Now,
'Cause
he
I
was
was
riding it, though.
I was
Come on, man.
I was sitting there looking like, wait, hold on. Why did you just get off on a
And tattoos.
and
So, I mean, I know he's Chris Brown in real life, but in the movie,
Yeah.
he baby, the baby, or Michael, the baby. So, I can't imagine her fully being on board with some of the stuff he's probably done.
yeah. With his 4-5 women that's sending him gifts.
Back to
house.
back.
Because he's Chris Brown.
Of course. Yes.
So then, we're still introducing all of the family. So there's another scene where they're in the kitchen. And
Regina King started fussing at the fact that her siblings is not there yet.
Lisa,
Yes.
don't be confusing people.
I forgot. I got it right. See, I put Regina King in there in my notes.
Yes.
I know. I was like, is Lisa being the Terry of Soul Food when she was complaining about, everybody not being there and I've done all this and
I feel like to a certain degree, but different roles. Like, she stayed like Maxine did, but she's also, her sister later will hit it on the head. She's trying to garner some type of attention and some type of like, see me for what I'm bringing to the table. She's just going about it in a horrible way.
Yeah.
I also think she took over the oldest role because Quentin left. So
she had to. She felt like she had to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing that I kind of wrote about this one, I said they definitely are playing up the trope that black people are always late to functions.
Yes,
because they were super late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you do get to see some of the hierarchy of the family.
Yeah.
You get to see how Lisa is typically the dependable child, or AKA the lost child, or the what's the other one we had talked about
For Lisa?
For Lisa.
We said the lost child and
the thinker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The thinker.
Yeah. So she's very appeasing. She's very much gonna go with the flow, but she got a mind of her own. So you get to see that. And I think the only other person in that scene that we haven't talked about is Rosie, which is, I don't know if she's
a friend or a maid
or like just helps the family.
Yeah, I couldn't.
But she there.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Lisa is that she is all of those roles with her siblings, but she cowers down to her husband. Yes. And it may be because of his personality being more controlling, but
because he a pan. That's the edited version of what I want to say. He a pan and a ban.
Yes. What I did appreciate about the scene was some of the lightness in it as well. With baby running around taking pictures of everybody. I thought that this showed that despite, and this will be kind of a common theme throughout the movie, that despite whatever their family issues are, that they really do care for one another and enjoy each other's company.
Yeah. I do think, and we talked about this when we talked about the sibling rivalry session. I think baby will eventually become the glue for the family. You know how it's always someone in the family that keeps everybody together. I think eventually it's going to be him, because you see him do that throughout the movie.
He did that pretty well.
He did. So like I said, there's so many scenes in this movie, it's hard to kind of keep up with them as a whole. But one of the things that I wrote about the next scene was, is it okay to just make sexual references towards women? Like, is that just part of the norm?
I guess it is.
Because this seems to be kind of like a commonality that we're seeing in some of these movies that we reviewed. Just kind of like,
which person are you talking about in this one though?
It was, who was that? I don't even know what that guy.
Are you talking about Cousin Fred?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but this is
I was like, I didn't even write his name down. I was like, Lord. It's like,
I feel like he did it in a semi-appropriate way, just because I think we all got that fine cousin in our family that you kind of just like, but you related. Okay. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like she took offense.
No, I don't think she took offense.
And I don't feel like he was trying to come across that way, because he seemed like a very respectful part of the family throughout the movie. Now, if he had some other stuff going on, I'd have been like, okay, Fred, get it together, get somewhere and sit down. But you know what got me was that Malcolm was outside by himself talking on the phone to somebody.
Yes. Which is part of my I know. I was like, he talking to an old girl on the low, huh?
Karen. That's her name in the movie.
Yeah. That was the part, like I saw and heard both. I mean, that scene with Fred and his cousin, but I don't know. I guess because he didn't linger
on it.
He made the statement. He got off of it. So I was like, I get what you're saying. That like
it was really? Just I didn't feel any kind of way about it when I was watching it, but I was like, I wonder if that's something to if you haven't seen the movie, is that something to pay attention to, later on? But it ends up not being, thank goodness. But, it was something that I was just kind of like, this is, we've seen it here. We saw it in Soul Food. It's
all of them.
Yeah.
Sparkle, it's just been like,
Yeah.
Is this like the Norman movies?
But that's why I think if he hadn't had his the character that he has, then I probably would have been like, okay, where is he going with this? Because even before that moment when crazy Malcolm was trying to like showboat and talk about his car, he was like, well, Kelly got a car too. Like he completely dismissed all of Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
I did appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Shut him down.
I know, because I was like, man, he is so pompous.
Oh gosh.
First of all, how pompous and pretentious can you be to go get your name
put on the front
as the emblem of your car? Like, who is out here customizing cars like that?
And you not in that type of life, that type of industry. Like, come on now, you a professional, you a corporate person, you know. But you can also in this scene see the immediate issue that Kelly has with Malcolm. You can tell she don't trust him.
Yeah, she don't fool with him.
Yeah, she don't like him for her sister.
You can definitely see the tension, and he knows it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they have that type of. It's not necessarily combative, but they definitely have a kind of sparring type of relationship.
Yeah, that
and
bantering
she don't back
and stuff.
down at all.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, come on now.
So simultaneously as this is going on, you know, there's a part in this scene where Madeira is talking about, you know, they're talking about all the kids and, well, you like this one and this one thing that this child was a favorite and all that.
Baby was the favorite.
That baby was the favorite. And what I did say was that I appreciated about this was that she did say that she has favorite, but that her favorite is whoever needs, you know,
the attention at the time.
The attention
and
at that
whoever
time.
she talking to in that moment.
Yeah.
In that moment.
You my favorite right now.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I thought that was a very safe way of talking about having a favorite child, you know, because while if you have multiple children, you know, they're going to have that kind of banter back and forth about there being a favorite child. But I thought that was a very safe and appropriate way for her to be able to address that.
Yeah. And for her to even address it was healthy.
She didn't back down from it, which is always what you typically see. No, I don't have a favorite. I love all my children equally. No, you don't. You love them all, but you don't love them equally. Let's not lie about it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And again, you kind of see this between Lisa and Kelly, that same kind of back and forth that like Terry and Maxine had with each other about one has gone off to college and, you know, seemingly made something of themselves.
Went to Harvard, has his nice marketing job, money.
And the other one stayed back and took care of Madeira and the cleaners and
helped the
had a
family
family and stuff.
You know, and it can highlight some of those insecurities that that if we were able to dive deeper into Kelly, she may have as well towards Lisa, but some of the insecurities that Lisa has about herself towards who and what she believes her sister has been able to achieve.
Yeah. And you can tell that Kelly does have some of that pretentious, not overly like we've seen in other movies, but she has some of that. She also can't cook nothing, don't know how to cook nothing, and don't nobody want to eat her food.
Yeah. I was like, that's the stereotypical girl boss. You know, like, you know, the thing, you order takeout every day,
right?
And you know, all you wear is, you know, Louis Prada Gucci.
But I don't, and maybe it's just me, I don't see her as being pretentious. I just see her as being confident and
no, not literal.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
You know, think you better than, like, you know how in their argument.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like she was just a confident woman.
Yeah, me too. I just felt like
yeah, she was definitely confident.
Yeah. And not in an unhealthy way.
Yeah. So then soon Mel gets home. And
this part was funny to me.
You missed somebody.
Oh, Claude. Yeah, he came first.
We gonna forget him a lot in this.
I'm sorry, Claude. Claude comes
short.
Home. And Claude, because I didn't even write that down. Claude comes home, and of course everybody's happy that he's home from the military.
They didn't know he got leave.
Yeah, they didn't realize, which this is foreshadowing until later on in the movie.
Yes.
Of course everybody's happy to see him, and they're doing all of their greetings and stuff, and kind of joshing each other.
Yeah,
as siblings do. Then a little bit later on, Mel gets home. And they do that traditional macho thing with the boyfriend.
That was so funny to me.
and she just left him. She didn't even introduce the boy.
Like she just left him there.
Lord,
I'm like, oh, they trying to intimidate the poor thing, and he's so nervous he can't barely get his own name out.
He don't even remember his name.
I was like, oh,
but at least they did become joking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Baby got in on it.
Yeah, and Malcolm. He was standing in the background.
He was.
I was like, boy,
but of course he gonna get in on it. And
whatever.
He wanted to show his little feathers.
Mm-hmm. He did.
Mm-hmm.
But if you already are slightly a narcissist, then you gotta. I still got to get in on this, man.
Slightly.
Well, a lot.
I mean, but the thing is that picture though, they all fine. The people in this movie are beautiful.
I know.
You know what? I'm
That's
gonna tell y'all one
thing
about Joe. I have always thought that was a sexy
He's
older
a
man.
very attractive individual. He oozes sex appeal.
He does. He's
Yeah,
just
very,
so smooth.
That's what I was saying. He's got a lot of swag.
Yes. When I saw him, I was like, oh, this man is.
Isn't it funny how your taste change when you get older? Because in 2007,
you understand better.
In 2007, I swear I'd have been like,
he old.
But him and Idris have similar energy.
They do.
Mm-hmm. I peeped that.
Okay, y'all.
Because if anything, you might think that was actually Joe Child.
Yeah.
Even though we know it ain't.
We know it's not,
right.
but still,
Mm-hmm.
the energies are similar.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now they're eating at the dinner table.
Food looked delicious as usual.
It did. And Malcolm, God.
Wait, before you go into that,
Oh,
I just because I know we're gonna be stuck there. I liked the fact that Joe was at the head of the table and he prayed over
appropriately.
The food. Yeah, he prayed. He just he fit in the family. I like to see
that he was like the father.
The father. He owned the position that he had been given. Even though it wasn't one that he had just fallen, just automatically had. He really told the line of being a newcomer into the family, not being the biological dad,
but
then also being the dad.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
I like that he played that role throughout the entire film.
Mm-hmm. And he was that way to all of the children.
Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That he, even the oldest.
Yes.
Who would have got yoked up long ago.
Mm-hmm. So
this part disgusted me.
It did.
Yeah.
So Malcolm proceeds to not even ask, but instruct Lisa to warm up his plate that's already hot. The food just been cooked.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody even really put a dent in what's on the table yet?
Nobody except for baby.
Have you even tasted the food to even see if it was hot enough?
And then Lisa jump in and make excuses for him. Oh, he just likes his food real hot. I just go put it in the microwave for a little bit.
Well, I was like, you had the audacity to say that in front of her family?
Her mama.
That's bold.
And Joe. Now, Joe was looking at him crazy, but.
And her brothers.
Yeah, I was like, that's super bold to be like, I'm going to warm up my food.
That's why he got checked by Kelly.
He did.
The whole scene.
I was like, she was on his behind.
I was glad.
All the time.
I was glad she was on him.
The worst of that little display was when she came back. He's like, you gonna do that thing?
And she cut his food up.
I said, you ain't got no hands.
And
Okay.
Kelly was like, you gonna feed him to chew it? No, she said, bring it to me. I'll chew it.
I know. I was like, ugh.
I was like, what? But see, my thing is, okay, she doing all this for you and you still cheating on her?
Like, you literally didn't have to do anything.
Right.
All you did was sit down.
Did everything. You can tell that she's a woman who's running the house and running the house. And by that, I mean, got the monies in order.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, yeah. He just go to work. That's it.
That's it. You don't do nothing.
And you still cheated. See, that, girl, let me,
I know. We gonna get to that scene.
Okay.
That's why he got what he got.
But again, I loved that Kelly was calling him out.
Yes.
I did.
And nobody stopped her.
Nobody. I said, now, if you gonna be inappropriate at the table, then like, hey, let's just let the inappropriateness fly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and call this on out because you being a peen here, and you disrespecting my sister in front of us.
And I'm not gonna let that happen, sir. So I'm gonna call you out every time you do it.
Yeah. But Lisa went into her
enabling.
She did.
her.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. So that's the role she plays with her husband.
Yeah.
She plays the rescuer because she does protect him pretty much up until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Another thing I did, I was like, oh, Malcolm is trash in this movie. The other thing I didn't like was that his insinuation that HBCUs were
trash schools.
Yeah.
Because he went to a PWI. Him and Kelly both went to Harvard
and Princeton,
and somebody went to Yale.
I think say Yale.
Was it Yale?
I think he went to Yale and she went to Harvard.
No. I think they both went because she said, I went to Harvard too.
She said, I went to Yale. Or yeah.
She went to Harvard. I can't remember where he went to.
Because it was 3 of them, wasn't it? Talking about education.
It was Devin, Malcolm, and Kelly.
But Mel was sprinkled in the conversation a little bit
because she's flighty.
Because Devin asked the question about is Deacon Black your minister and your father, and she was like, no, that's not my daddy. He left or he's not here or something like that. And he thought he was
like,
dead.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Or whatever. And that's how they got into
he left. I was like, what? That's a weird way of saying that.
He went on.
He gone on.
Then Malcolm jumped into that and tried to kind of play
Trash.
the dozen.
That's why I said, boy, she stick it to him every single time. I said, she got
I
his
went to
number.
Yale.
And I was appreciative that Devin in that moment did not back down and gave him
the business, the mission statement.
Yeah, because he was going
and
to
he had a reason behind the
Morehouse, right?
Yes.
And she was going to Spelman for the 7th year.
Yes.
Super senior.
Yes.
Boy, I said, boy, that's the professional student, as Mama said. Yeah. And what I appreciated about Devin, not backing down to Malcolm, but I did love that even though he was quoting the mission statement, that he had a rationale behind the mission statement.
Why he knew the mission statement and why he was quoting it.
It's just a different level of pride at HBCUs. Like, why you there, what you getting.
And like he said, you are there with other people that look like you.
Yeah. I didn't get that experience, y'all.
I didn't. I went to a PWI as well.
I didn't.
For those that don't know what the acronym PWI stands for, it's a predominantly
white institution. But that's okay because I'm gonna go take like 2 classes from a HBCU, and I'm gonna be like, I went to a HBCU.
Yes.
I might get me an extra degree in like African American studies or something from Howard or something. Just because I need it.
Yeah, I imagine it's a awesome experience. I applied to PV, but I didn't take it, and I ended up going to SFA.
Yeah, I applied to PV and Grambling. I got in at both of them because I was dancing and stuff, and I was like, girl, you're not supposed to be dancing. Go sit down and take these psychology courses and get done, because ACU had a 3-year undergrad program. Gotcha. And I was like, let me do that.
Yeah, I only applied to HBCUs. I got into all of them, but I chose A&T. Aggie Pride.
Don't nobody care. I mean,
Okay.
HBCU.
I don't know why I didn't go to PV. Now looking back at, at this age, I don't remember what my 18-year-old brain was thinking at the time, but
yeah.
I don't know why I didn't go.
I knew my
Interesting.
grandfather wasn't going to make it. And so I was like, I don't want to be away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, he died my senior year. And I only did 3 years. So imagine.
Oh, wow.
I would have been somewhere else only on my junior year.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Man. The only other thing in this scene that I was kind of like, I don't know if I feel some kind of way about it, was they was putting all Mel's business out there on Front Street about her being a super senior, about her changing her major based off who she dating.
And when they asked
But they
that
held
man,
it accountable, though. They
Yeah,
held it,
they did.
when they asked that man, what you majoring in? He said,
pre-love. Because that's what she was
majoring
majoring
in. That was hilarious, though.
I know. I was like,
She had
it's so
found
funny, but I was like, dang, they really put all her business out in the street.
Yeah, they
She
did.
hadn't figured it out yet.
No.
She got to graduate, though.
Yeah. I thought it was funny, though. You could tell it wasn't in,
Malicious.
like to be hurtful, but
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I mean, that is hella embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. And you got your new boo with you? Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And y'all just confirmed everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when he said pre-law. So then Malcolm gives Lisa the head nod a little bit later.
And Kelly is peeping all of it out.
Because I think it's now just the siblings kind of talking at the
They
table in the
playing
kitchen.
in the kitchen.
He give her the head nod, which like, if this what you want to do, sir, you come on out and say it.
Right.
Anyway, or anyway.
I'm not your spokesperson.
Right. So here she come talking about selling the cleaners and how they need all of the siblings to be on one accord because they can't sell it without a unanimous vote. But their oldest brother isn't there. So basically her having this conversation is moot.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until this point, they hadn't even seen him in years.
Yeah, like 4. But even if he was there, it would have only been them 2. Because the other siblings was like, nope. Because she also wanted to sell her mama's house.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, you just trying to get rid of everything?
That reminded me of Terry
Mm-hmm.
in Soul Food.
Yeah. She was just like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I did like in this scene that Baby was like, y'all come home. I live here.
Yeah.
So we not selling the house. Like he
Right.
was like,
Right.
And he wouldn't have been able to say nothing anyway because we assuming he 18, but I was like, he's technically a baby. So he's not, where is he going to go?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Because he hasn't gone to college.
But their assumption was that he's gonna go off to college or go move out or something like that and be doing his own thing.
Yeah. Like he don't need somewhere to stay.
Right.
Okay.
Like all of them do, because most of them did not stay in California or wherever they were.
None of them did except for
California.
Baby.
Yeah.
Right. Well, wait a minute. Lisa and them?
Lisa and them, but they was in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
What I did say was that Lisa was making some valid points on why to sell. I said, but you are not making a good case for yourself.
No.
Just because you have validity behind your statement doesn't mean that you have convincingness
Yeah.
Yeah.
behind your statement.
And I think Baby also said, when she said just some lunch money, he's talking about, well, your lunch is too expensive. We're talking about the shares that they get every year. Because
Yeah.
if that's the case, then just tell y'all mama not to give y'all no shares so it can go back into the business then.
Right.
Y'all can always say no.
Right. But you don't.
And you and Malcolm gladly go ahead and take it. If you don't need it, then you can give your share back. You don't have to keep yours. Just because everybody gets a share, that doesn't mean you have to keep yours.
Right.
And obviously the business is making a lot of money because she got, 6 kids?
And all of y'all were able to get a check?
All. Quinn,
So that
Quinn
means
get money
she
every
had
year.
profit.
Right.
For her to be able to profit share.
That's what that means.
Yes, go look it up, people.
Yeah.
So in order for her to profit share, there had to be money there left over at the end of the year. So, and she got a giant house
Oh
where
yeah,
everybody can stay.
Ain't even dude and Mo.
Everybody got their own room. This like an 8-bedroom house.
Yes.
So
In California.
So that real estate, come on now. Even in 2007. The other thing I said this family don't pull no punches with each other. They give nothing but straight truth bombs the whole movie. Cause Kelly was like, "Oh, I know he put you up to this. There ain't no way you could have came up with this idea on your own."
And then Lisa went in and was like, "So you think I'm stupid? I can't come up with nothing." Did y'all see the way Malcolm looked though? And was like,
"I did."
I was like, "So you don't even believe in her, and you have her doing this? What is wrong with you, dude?"
I said, "Baby, you called your sister weak-willed and easily influenced."
And Mel co-signed it. She said weak-willed.
Yeah, she did.
I was like, man, I'm all for being honest with somebody, but there is a time and a place and a way to do something.
And see, this is when we've talked about communication and how words can hurt and things like that. This is what we're talking about. Like Dr. Strickland just said, you can definitely speak your truth and own your truth, but there is still a way to deliver it.
Finish him. That's what happened.
Yes, that's what she did.
I mean, I think she did need the hard truth, but it didn't have to be like barbed wire either.
I agree.
Yes. So one of the things that I wrote in my notes was, even though this concept is usually used for couples, I said you can see the 4 horsemen playing out in this scene right here. So the Psych 101 lesson, guys. The 4 horsemen is usually related to couples, and this is from a pretty prominent therapist in the field of relationships. His last name is Gottman, and he says that there are 4 really huge detriments in a relationship. Criticism. So you can see criticism happening when Kelly basically annihilates Lisa with calling her weak-willed and like you couldn't come up with an idea like this of your own. You have defensiveness. So of course, when you criticize somebody, their natural response is going to become defensive and say, you don't think that I can't remember specifically what Lisa said, but basically like, you don't think that I have the ability to come up with this on my own. So that's a natural response to being criticized. The next one is contempt. Now you don't quite see this one as strongly in this scene, but you can kind of see the workings of it trying to be there. So contempt is, the easiest way to kind of describe that would be like almost hatred, like dislike, you really
Disrespect.
don't disrespect.
Well, you can definitely, you can hear it and see it from Kelly to Malcolm, not to Lisa. So
yes, definitely. And then the 4th one is stonewalling. So this one, you didn't get to see a whole lot in this scene, but stonewalling is basically shutting down. So once, the person has kind of reached capacity, they just shut down from the conversation and, it's over at that point.
I think you saw that a little from Lisa. You know what I mean? Like she gets to so far and she be like, I know I ain't going to be able to go no further.
Yeah.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, even though Kelly may not have meant it the way Lisa took it, it was the way she delivered it and what she said. So when you communicate, especially when it's something harsh like that, you definitely have to make sure you choose the right words and you have to make sure your tone is correct. Otherwise, because I don't think she meant it like she was weak-willed. I think she was meaning it like, this sound like all Malcolm wanting us to do this.
Yeah.
No, I think she meant it. But I think the fire was for Malcolm. I think she meant what she said, but the energy she put into that should have been directed towards Malcolm, and she should have had a conversation.
See, I don't think she meant that her sister is weak-willed. I don't think she believed that.
I do, because she literally has that same conversation with her about essentially her not having no good boundaries and letting people walk all over. Because remember when they had a fight later, that's one of the main reasons why they had a fight.
Yeah.
I don't think like I said, I don't think none of her stuff is malicious. I just think she's like, I'm at my wits end. You done been with this joker at least probably years. Like 12 years, because the girl looked like she could be 12 or 13. She done. She like, I'm sick of you.
I almost feel like they had been together longer than that, because there's a point in the movie where she talks about getting pregnant as a teen. And
then ended up having the second one.
Wake
so
up 2 babies.
Yeah, I was like, so I feel like they may have been together longer than that. Then there's a weird next scene with a Soul Train line. I thought this was hilarious.
It was just weird for it to be in the center, in the center of the movie, but
I feel like it should have been before the scene that they had left, because it seemed like everybody had dispersed for the night, and then you come back to this. I think they should have flip flopped them.
But it is during this scene that the prodigal son returns, Quentin.
Yes.
Or Idris Elba.
Yes, Idris with the fake.
You can hear his British accent coming through though.
Yeah, because I think he does like New York accent real well, but I'm like, dude, you from Cali?
Yeah.
Like, you're not from New York in this movie.
I was like,
not takers.
I said, you can hear that British coming through, because he said,
trying.
I was like, he is trying hard, and I wonder if this is early in his career.
Yeah,
before
he couldn't hide it that way,
right? Before he's had to speak in an American accent so much, because now I would probably venture to say it's probably harder for him to speak in his native tongue now, or native accent, because he probably speaks so much English accent now.
Be like, what's her name that was on Power? Boo Boo Kitty. She's actually an islander.
Yeah, so. I've heard that actually happens with a lot of I guess technically foreign actors, that if they have to do a lot of American films and they have to speak in an American accent all the time, that over time they start to lose their natural. And then they have to go home. Like one of the actors from The Walking Dead, he was British, and one of the things that he said on like the kind of after show was that he would have to go home every so often.
Figure out how to talk again.
Yes.
You know, the interesting thing about him coming back is that you automatically saw the shift. Joe moved out the way because he knows how much that relationship means to his significant other. But he sat on the side of the table. He let Quentin Jr. take the head of the table. But we know, because we got insight as the viewer, he just sitting there lying about everything. He not on tour. He playing in dive bars. Like, he's not who he's making himself out to be. He's essentially
he owes
chasing
some loan sharks.
Yeah, he's chasing his daddy's dream, but he not on his daddy level.
Yeah,
because when he was saying it, I was like, wait a minute, is he lying? Because I don't remember him being on no tour.
He was.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can definitely tell how much the family misses him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love him.
Yeah.
As they should. I mean,
yeah,
they ain't got no significant crazy stuff going on in the family. So.
Right.
Yeah. And this is where you can kind of see the, I don't know if it's hostility or animosity that he has towards Joe, but Joe does not have it towards him. He definitely holds him accountable, but he doesn't have that layer of toughness that Quentin seems to have towards him.
I think he still, to me, Joe still respects him, and I think he's mindful of his relationship with Madea and how much she loves Quentin, and so I think his level of respect for him exudes from her.
Yeah, I agree.
And he also knows that that's not what, I'm just going to say his stepson, even though they're not married. I think he knows that's what his stepson needs, because he can't force himself on that particular, not that he forcing himself on anybody. But you could see Quentin still being that little kid.
That's what I was thinking.
He ain't my daddy.
That's what I was thinking, that how Joe is able to be gentle and patient with him because he still sees the little boy in him, like the damaged, broken little boy. So he is much more patient with him than any of the other ones. Now, they also don't give him the same issue that Quentin does, but you can definitely tell that he is very methodical and careful with how he deals with Quentin.
He definitely has that thing of being able to treat the children as they need to be treated.
Yes.
So
I was saying, I was like, man, he would have been an awesome father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he was being an awesome father,
but
well, I don't know how
biological. I know what you mean,
and I don't know how long he was in the kid's life.
Well, wasn't Quentin like 9 years old because he was getting beat up by somebody?
He said when you got beat up in the 6th grade.
Okay.
But he was young. Like, he's been in these kids' life.
Yeah.
They pretty much their whole life, and Quentin is the only one that hasn't embraced it.
Mm-hmm.
But see, and that's what confuses me a little bit about the timeline, because they were saying that Senior left when Baby was
Still in diapers.
okay.
Because you got to think they all in their 20s. And Baby is 18.
Okay.
So they stair-step.
Gotcha. See, but Quentin seems like he's much older than...
And Lisa does too.
Yeah.
But they didn't live them hard lives.
Not Lisa.
Of oppression. Shoot.
Okay.
Okay.
That man looked like he emotionally beats her down.
On the daily.
I can understand that.
On the daily.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those two definitely seem way older.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's it almost seems like it was them two and then a gap.
Yeah. Like maybe even a 3-4 year.
Oh, and actually, no, it kind of seems like it would have been them two, a small gap, then Kelly, then a big gap, and the last 3. That's what it kind of seems like. Or maybe like 2, 2, 2.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's still a gap between Mel and Baby because they 7 years.
Oh, yeah, because she's been in college 7 years.
Jesus Christ.
So that would mean she's at least 25.
So 25, probably like 26, 27. They probably from mid-30s to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. We don't know how old Baby is. So he's either 18, 19, maybe 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that they call him baby is what throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get why they
probably didn't have no name. You know how they used to do back in the day? They named the child till they was 4.
She said he didn't have no name.
Because I was like, it's hard to determine how old he is because they call him baby. But I know why they call him baby, but still.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's certain tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM.
So then, man, there was a scene or a piece in this scene where Quentin and Joe, where Joe says something about going to church. And then Quentin says, like, I don't believe in your God. And I was like, man, I think this scene kind of highlights, even though Joe was respectful, but I do think it highlights some of the intolerance that can be shown to non-Christian Black people, that our community stereotypically is very devout in their beliefs.
They traditions. Let's say traditions.
Traditions.
Ain't nobody doing what they supposed to be doing.
Right. Are very devout in their traditions and can be very intolerant of people that believe differently.
Yeah.
Now, whether Quentin actually did or didn't, I don't know if he was just saying that to kind of,
I feel like he was just saying that.
Right. Like, I don't know if he was just saying it to try to kind of irritate Joe.
Because he a deacon while he's shacking.
We're not going to get into that.
He's shacking.
And fornicating, probably.
Getting it in.
He got his own apartment. He is not shacking.
He got a box.
He's spending, a box, and he spend a night. He go home on the weekend.
Well, Kelly Lim said he been there since.
I know, since Mel left for college.
I was like, that's so sad.
I know.
Poor man.
I know. He really put his stuff in
the
one
little
of them
Tupperware.
Sterilite.
He's so respectful. He said,
containers.
"Okay, babe." Went on about his business.
And that's all he got is a Tupperware full of stuff. And he been there since Mayo.
I feel like he still had his hanging stuff up.
You think so?
Oh, he took his drawer stuff out.
Yeah, because he didn't go home and get no suit for
He
Christmas.
didn't.
He
didn't.
pulled that suit out that closet.
He did.
did.
You're right. You're right.
Like, y'all just lying.
But I'm like, so what's the point of him having his
Y'all
hanging clothes in
lying
there?
out
Then
in the
Quentin
open.
can see that.
Probably like if they would have went in some drawers or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I wrote kind of on that particular piece was like remembering that Black people are not a monolith. You know, that we all have differing ideas, differing belief systems, different value systems, morals,
And combinations of all.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to get away from traditions.
Yeah.
It's okay to have beliefs, obviously, and it's okay to have traditions, but you don't have to impose them on other people.
Yeah.
No, what works for you don't work for everybody else.
Yes.
So
That's all I had to say on that. So then the next one, Malcolm and Lisa. So Malcolm is like, yo, I need you to get your family to sell this cleaners. And I'm like, I wish they would explore like what for? What are you trying to purchase?
trying
They
to
said
buy
in the
something.
beginning, like in the beginning when he was talking to the hoe,
But what was he trying to buy?
the building. And he was looking at a blueprint.
Yeah, I
he wanted
saw-
to buy a building. I can't remember the reason because he was getting on my nerves. But they needed the capital, and she had her capital ready, and she said he needed to get his capital ready, which he still didn't have no capital. He was going to capitalize on the
his-
family.
Yeah.
Right. So like you
You
a Dusty, really.
Yeah.
You a Dusty in a nice suit.
Because you was getting ready to use that
Yes.
money to capitalize with another woman. So what we going to leave Lisa after she gave you her money?
First of all, she got 2 kids. I don't think you should get divorced in California, sir.
Half.
Because she was going to own that building
Half.
anyway.
There's things called community property states. California, Tejas, if you don't know. Half. So yeah, he was not making power moves at all.
No, he was following the box.
He was severely. But she was trying to explain to him, like, look, our mama, if Quentin say no, that's it. Like,
Right. It ain't happening no way.
it ain't happening.
Hierarchy.
What'd you say?
It's a structure in this house.
Yeah.
And he's at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that in the eyes of the mama, he is the hero. Like, that's her golden child. Even though a consistent theme throughout this movie is that he left her,
Yeah.
you know, that all the men,
Triangulation.
you know, all the men leave her, or at least the musically inclined ones. Let me say that.
The
And
Whitfield
they
men.
all, it ain't but one is not musically inclined, and that's Claude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he might. I don't know if he can dance for real.
Not in
He
this
didn't
movie.
dance in that movie.
Not in this movie. Now Columbus Short can dance.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But I was like, man, he's such a slime ball in this movie.
Yeah.
He
Every time
played it so well.
he
He did.
Like, he's a good actor, because I thought about the same thing when he was in the Fast and Furious, and he played the bad
We
guy.
were
I
right
said,
here.
No laughs.
I know. I couldn't believe he was playing a bad guy.
Like when he was,
and he was super fine in that movie.
and he had his
Jesus
little
Christ.
hair up. Started speaking in Spanish. I said, "Are you all Cubano?
I know.
Come on, sir."
I was like, oh my
I said,
God.
"Where are those men?" Let me come back.
Okay. My face done got all hot. Okay. So, you know, Quentin basically is going to be he is the man. When Joe is there alone, Joe is the man of the house. But it seems like, based off the family dynamics, once Quentin is there, Quentin is now the man of the house, or / head of the household. So Lisa is trying to explain to Malcolm, like, look, he is the person that's going to be the driving force behind if this idea is even able to get up off the ground. And then they kind of just end that scene there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then we get Mel and Devin.
We get some more news, some more info into the family dynamics here.
Yeah. And she kind of explains to Devin why her mom is so afraid of music and them singing and things like that, because Senior, who is the children's father, left them to go pursue his dream in music. And it's almost kind of like she felt deserted or abandoned.
Yeah.
Which is a consistent thing that gets said throughout this film about Madeir. I was kind of always trying to figure out why she felt the need to hide Joe, like why she couldn't or she didn't want to tell her children the truth about what was going on between her and Senior, because he's gone. So what is there to continue to have this facade of
the image of him and shattering how her children think, but it's from a place of fear instead of her really having a real conversation. I'm like, your oldest had to been in elementary when he left, so why are you tripping? Like,
no, her oldest would have been in. If Baby was a baby, then Quentin would have been at least in middle school.
Well, I mean, like left, like never
for
saw
good,
no
like,
more.
Instead of touring and coming back and touring and coming back.
Yeah. Because,
well, didn't he leave? Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay,
like,
gotcha.
Of course he left super early or whatever, but we know.
I think he did like he would travel, like singers do. Travel, come back, travel, come back.
And she didn't want to get in the way of all of that.
Yeah, but my thing is, like, once he officially left,
you should be honest.
Yeah, like, what was the point of continuing to keep it up at that point?
Dysfunction.
Yeah, maybe but I agree with you. She lived out of fear.
I wonder if she had wishful thinking in the beginning that he would,
choose her,
choose her or choose the family, and so she kind of just kept that going. And I don't know why she kept it going, especially when she had Joe.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Like, once he entered into her life at whatever stage that was, like, they see this man. Like, it's not like he is invisible. Like, they see
he chocolate.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they see this man is coming and spending time with you more and more and more.
And them.
And more. So, obviously, this ain't just your little friend. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, at some point, why not go ahead and just fully explore that relationship and be honest with your children? By that time, it seems like at least from maybe Mel or even Claude up would be able to understand what was really going on and be able to free you from whatever these chains you've placed on yourself.
Yeah.
But I wonder if she was trying to, like Dr. Wall was saying, trying to keep him on this pedestal.
Who, Senior?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Well, she obviously is stuck in the past. She still got his picture in her drawer.
And she still was getting glassy-eyed when she got the card from him.
But she was giddy. I know. I had wrote that down. I was like, what's going on there?
Right. And I'm like, why is Joe in your life then if you still getting giddy over him?
Yes.
As a great rapper once said at the end of a song, close the door, Busta Rhymes.
I love that song.
Me too. And the video.
Yes.
I just love Busta Rhymes.
He's sexy too.
Yes.
Well,
old Busta Rhymes, because right now I think
he getting it back. Getting it back.
Okay.
He was on The Masked Singer.
Okay.
So one of the questions that I wrote about this kind of Mel and Devin scene, I was like, what's the problem with a woman being a mom, a woman, and a lover? I have a lot of clients that struggle with that. Just the combination of those three different parts of themselves. And they really kind of siphon them off to be three completely different things. And they don't see that you are all of those simultaneously. Now, you may not act all of those simultaneously, but you are all of them. And like, why can't you be that? Like, what's so wrong with you loving a man, but also being a mother?
I think we've talked about this before. I think patriarchy and misogyny, especially misogyny noir, plays a big role in what we are allowed, air quotes, to do and what is deemed acceptable. It's
Yeah.
a very closed off viewpoint, because that would not be acceptable for us as women to tell a man what he's allowed to do and what he's capable of.
Yeah.
We're all capable of great things. Now, you do need to be honest with yourself about what you really desire and what you want to do. And I think sometimes as women, that is our downfall, is that we keep allowing other people to dictate that to us.
Okay.
I have nothing to add. She said all of my words.
All right. So then in the next scene, it is Malcolm and Lisa, and they are preparing to go to bed. And he starts off, it seems like he wants to have a little, time with her. And it's not that she doesn't want to, but she's just kind of caught up in the
hygiene of
getting ready for bed. She's brushing her teeth, got her hair in her pin curls, and
they talking about stuff.
Right. Like she's just kind of in the, we're dialoguing here.
Like they're having their pillow talk with her, still doing her hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
But she looked bomb.
Yeah,
like
she
it ain't
did.
like she had a bonnet on and her. You know how we go to bed sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like the tomboy version of it. Like she was still oozing sex appeal.
Mm-hmm. She was. Abs on point.
Mm-hmm.
So then he gets frustrated with her and lays down
And fake sleep.
But when she's then she was like, yeah, I'm ready. And then he
missed it.
He fakes. No, he did, because he was awake.
No, I'm saying he missed seeing how she looked.
Oh, he did. Yeah. And I said to myself, she mad if she done got into bed with her robe on.
And nothing on her hair.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. Whoa.
These are cotton pillows, ma'am.
I said, boy, she mad.
Yep.
I was like, Lord Jesus.
Like, you ain't wrap your hair up. You ain't roll it up. You ain't put no bonnet on. Nothing.
You got into bed with them in a bra, because you had a bra on. You got into bed in a sexy bra, not a comfortable bra.
And sexy panties that don't cover nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They was cute though.
And then put your robe on and didn't put nothing on your hair. Oh yeah, you mad.
Mm-hmm.
You frustrated.
And huffed and puffed and turned her back towards him.
I was like, whoa, boy, it's a lot going on in just this little couple of minutes right here. So then there's a cut to Joe and Quentin in the garage. And, I was like, man, it's still not clear why. I can assume why he has animosity towards Joe, but it's still not really clear. But one thing I definitely said is Joe cares about their mama. Mm-hmm. And he makes that very clear to Quentin. Like, I don't really, boy, what you not going to do?
I love that he stood up to Quentin when he said, when I'm here, you need to stay clear. He was like,
your mama want me here.
So take that up with her.
Right.
I wish him would.
Okay. I was like, I loved that. I was like, see, that's a man.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to talk about well, what is a man and how, that right there.
Because that was a very manly response, but appropriate.
Very
It was.
alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Non-toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I loved it all the way around.
Yeah. I actually love the fact that he stood up for himself and that he had boundaries. He made sure Quentin knew it. Yeah. But I still respect you. But this is my boundary right here. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to talk crazy to me. I'm sorry, Dr.
You know what I appreciate? And we've said this, and I think something else. The covering.
Mm. Yeah.
He covers her. He covers that family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, he own it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you be out here doing that.
I appreciate the writing of his character.
Mm-hmm.
That he was not a toxic father figure or male role model in this family. He was not unhealthy. I do appreciate them inserting, this is what a healthy male relationship can look like.
Yeah, and I'm glad at the fact that they wrote a black man in that role.
Yes,
of course, because
two chocolates.
Yeah, yeah, and it allowed us people to see that there are healthy black men out here.
Mm-hmm. They do exist. So then Mama is in her bedroom. So then, of course, Joe leaves the garage, and then Quentin is kind of left there playing the piano that used to be Senior's. Mm-hmm. That's in the garage.
Stuck in the past.
Mm-hmm. And Mama is watching, Madeira is watching him out the window. And then she turns to her nightstand and pulls out a picture of Senior.
Yep. Playing the saxophone.
And I was like, why do you still have this in your drawer?
And it's black and white, so you know it's old.
It's real old. And I was like, you and Joe be in the bed, like, and you still got this picture just in the nightstand right there? Like, come on now. You can't be out here doing this.
Yeah.
Meetings in bedrooms and exes looking at you. Okay? It's weird.
I know, just mental threesomes all over the place.
Oh, wow.
So I was kind of confused by that. But of course, they don't really explore her beyond just kind of her feeling abandoned. They don't really explore anything about Senior and her other than that.
Yeah.
What I did find hilarious was the mama asking the daughter if she needed some batteries for her pleasure device.
She don't miss nothing. She really don't. She was like, hey, but I like that they put it in here, but I hate that it was in there. Her saying, when are you going to get somebody, whole thing.
I wrote a little something about that too.
And so, the pressure of needing to have a significant other.
I liked Kelly's response, though. The fact that she is not going to settle for just someone to have someone.
Yeah.
What was the saying that she said? Let me see if I wrote it down, because it was good. I don't think I wrote it, though.
I didn't either.
It was good, whatever it was.
It was something like, I'm not going to settle for less or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I want to settle down, but I'm not going to settle for less.
I think that, I think you're right.
And one of the things I was when I was jotting my notes down, I was like, it's okay to respect people's choices. It's okay to respect people if they don't want to get married. It's okay to respect people if they don't want to have children. If they, want to get married later after they've established themselves in their career, or if they want to have children later, it's okay to be okay that other people can live their lives the way that they want to live them.
It's options.
Well, see, I was wondering if Madea asked her that question because she saw her toy.
Probably.
Yeah, but she is the only person who's not really probably bringing nobody home. She's the successful kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She, although Junior is the hero, she know he ain't doing nothing.
He don't need to settle down.
He ain't doing nothing really with his life. He out there in the streets. She know that. But Kelly is the stereotypical hero child, the savior. The level up.
Level up.
Yes.
Level up.
So then the next scene is the Claude is he's on the stairs and he's, booed up with somebody on the phone. We don't know who this person is at this point in time, but we can assume that it is a woman, a little boo thing, and he's trying to meet her at the club. So he get ready to sneak out, and his siblings are, kind of in the kitchen just chit-chatting.
Oh, I'm riding out too. I know. I go ahead. I jumped ahead.
No, you're all right. But before that, Mel and Devin are in the kitchen and get caught up in the closet. Just
they being nasty.
Yeah, they doing adult things.
Yes, on the washing machine. Okay, let me come back.
Yes. So then, as he gets ready to try to sneak out or leave.
Wait, because you gotta say, like, Junior comes back in the kitchen and he like, ooh, I'm about to give me some cake. And then Kelly come in and she talking about how Lisa done pissed her off again. And then the whole time Junior is trying to eat this cake. But do you hear that?
Yes.
And it's because they in the closet making out.
Yes, that was hilarious. And Lisa's like, no, I don't. So then I keep wanting to say Columbus, but Claude tries to leave, and then the siblings invite themselves.
Yes.
Except for Lisa.
Because she was upstairs in the bed with her family.
Right. It was Kelly. Kelly ended up going with them.
And Mel and Devin.
Yeah.
And because they kept saying that boy name wrong. We should ask. Kelly said we should ask Devon, Darren, Derek. And in the closet, he's like, Devin. And then they come out all disheveled, looking like they've been doing something.
I said, boy, shit, that little spaghetti strap was hanging off and everything. And I was like, I know this is sibling stuff. So I didn't really feel too many ways about it. But I was like, he really didn't want y'all to go. Like, why didn't y'all just respect that he wanted to go by himself?
Middle child.
I know. I was like, and that's why I said, I know it's sibling stuff, but I was like, but he really wanted some privacy and he wanted to go by himself.
But he didn't really communicate that well.
He
either.
didn't.
He was just like,
Because that's what I was going to say. He didn't even talk like his.
He didn't even force it.
Yeah.
No, he was like, dang it. If I keep saying something, then they probably gonna like
figure it
what's
out.
What's up? Why you want to go by yourself?
Right.
And we haven't seen you.
Here come 11 questions. I know. And that's why I was like, I didn't feel too many ways about it, but I agree with both of you guys that he was not very forceful in saying like, no, I'm going by myself.
See, this is when we say no is a complete sentence.
It is.
And he should have went out through the front door.
You gonna go through the area where your siblings at.
Right. You heard them
in
talking.
this 8-bedroom house that probably got 4
ways to get out.
Side yard, front.
Slide door somewhere.
Okay. And then, so then they go to the club.
El Rey.
And he sneaks off and we see that he has, the lady that he is going to meet is talking to some dudes and he kind of cuts in and we figure out, at the time you don't know her status, but so you assume she's a girlfriend at the time.
And she's white.
She is.
Because that's going to be important in a second.
That will be. And he's like, oh, I'm here with my family, my siblings. I need you to go back to the hotel.
Right there. I would have been like, that is a no.
She was excited too.
She
was ready to meet them.
Yes.
She was like ready. She was like, where are they at?
Let's go and meet them. Let's go to the table or whatever she said.
And he yanked her back like,
No, this is not the time.
Let's not do that. And I said in this, go ahead.
I was just gonna say his reasoning was good though. Like I get that he wanted to tell his mama first, but that ain't how you set this up. So you need to just go ahead and get the cat out the bag.
Okay, I was like, first of all, why you hiding me to begin with?
Like,
why they don't already know about me?
Especially because of my status once we find out later. Especially because of my status.
Well, he didn't know that though.
He didn't
know what?
He didn't know. She hadn't disclosed that yet. That's what she was sharing with
Mel.
Little sister.
No. I'm saying because we know what her status is.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, why hadn't they already known that I exist?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just was like, why I didn't show up to the house with you?
Yeah. It still is going to be what it's going to be. Did y'all hear the black dudes, what they said to him on the way away when he broke up them talking to her? They said, stay black.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I heard that.
I didn't.
But I'm like, how you going to tell him to stay black? Because you got an issue with the fact that she white. But
y'all
you
was just trying to holler. Right.
Oh, man.
Make
I
it
didn't
make
hear
sense.
that. You know, people do as I say, not as I do.
You just mad, sir.
Yeah. I said, she better than me because we'd have been all up in that club arguing. I'd have been like, nah, where they at? As soon as he would have been like, nah, I need you to go back to the hotel. No, ninja.
That is a negative, sir.
Yeah. So now I'm pissed. Now I'm mad because now I do feel like you hiding me. Because even though it seemed, I don't know what their plan was because they call it a surprise. But like now we got ample. This gonna be a surprise. Let's go meet him over there real quick.
I understand you want me to meet your mama first, but that ain't how we got this set up.
Well, they both keeping secrets, so.
They are.
That's true. Because I don't think she told her parents either.
No, her parents knew. They don't like him.
Yeah, but I didn't think they had gotten married. I mean, I didn't think they knew he had gotten married because of that.
Because of what?
Because he was black. Did they know they had gotten married, or did they just think?
Yeah, her family knew.
Oh, okay.
When Mel started doing 21 questions.
Yeah, I didn't hear her say that they knew that they had gotten married. I thought she just said that they didn't like him because he was black.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that specific what you're talking about, but yeah, I was like, man, that's a lot to unpack right there, you know, because his face seemed so relieved after she walked out. Like, oh God, okay, now I can go back over here and, you know.
Accountability is not his strong suit, obviously. And we going to learn that in so many areas.
So many areas,
life.
Yeah. So then Baby gets on the stage unknowingly.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I skipped the part where Makai Gerald is eyeballing Kelly across the room at the club. Excuse me, miss.
I saw you from across the room.
No lisp.
So he was eyeballing her, and then he comes up. So it seems like him and Quentin went to school together.
Yeah, they knew each other.
But so Kelly is old enough though for them to have been in school
4
together
years
as well.
Apart. He was a senior, she was a freshman.
So we know then Quentin is at least 4 years older than Kelly. So, you know, that's going to be important later. But then Baby gets up on the stage and unknown to the family, he can sing.
Sang. Like as if he was Chris Brown.
And he gets up there to sing a Otis Redding song, right? And of course he does a good job and everybody loves it. And the family's like, oh my God, I can't believe Baby can sing. You didn't know that? But the person that was really sparked was Quentin.
Yeah. Well, first of all, they was like, go get him off the stage.
He was going to save him. He was so nervous. He had to turn around, get his life together. That was his, I think they said, first time singing in public.
Yeah. But I thought it was really sweet. I was like, oh, that's a good little scene. And you guys were talking about how he was trying not to act like Chris Brown.
But he was sucking a little bit at that. He wasn't doing a really good job because he was body rolling.
Yeah.
I said, how you body rolling on Otis?
And then he did his little signature hand wave move. I was like, Chris,
drop that jacket. Sir, come
Girl,
on.
the way he popped that jacket off at the end.
I said, don't do it on him.
I said, you're not at a concert, sir. This is a movie. Ain't no telling how many times you filmed this scene.
I know.
And for everybody who watches this movie again, the guy who's the announcer is Brandon T. Jackson. And so a lot of people know him from a lot of black movies, but also Percy Jackson. He's a satyr.
Yes, that's a good movie. And I was like, this next scene to me, I was like, oh, this seems so forced. But
that's how it be though. It really do. Like, you really had to come over here and say what you said.
Yeah, because I was like, the two dudes that were talking to Claude's person, thank you, come over to him and just start saying a bunch of bull.
Like y'all could have just left that alone.
Yeah,
like,
I was like,
y'all had already
went like what, snowflake or snowbun. He's saying something just so
inappropriate.
Crass.
I know. I was like, there was literally no reason for it. Like, y'all had already excused yourself, said, my bad, dog, said your little snide comment when y'all walked away.
But they were staring at them.
They were
at the bar, like, plotting.
Yeah, I saw that.
They were.
She didn't even, like, turn you down. This is a prime example of ninjas not taking rejection well. This is why women give the fake phone number.
And she didn't even reject you.
No. He just stepped in and was like, no, she's with me. She's
because she was entertaining y'all.
Right.
No boundaries. Come on now.
I was like, come on.
And the thing, they talking about I heard that European women, not something about being good on their knees or something like that.
Oh, that was so disrespectful.
It's so disrespectful.
I was like, how you going to talk to that Marine? They don't know he a Marine, right. But how you going to talk to that Marine's wife like that? I got Marines in my family. They not the most confrontational people.
I know. I was just like,
and that's the thing. That's why I was like, I wrote down. I was like, they thought they was dealing with a punk.
They did,
and even his sibling said he's the hothead of the family.
Right.
He is not the calm one,
which is so weird because he presents that way. But he is definitely the pressure cooker. Like,
yeah, I was getting ready to say he's the duck. Like he's calm right at the top and at the bottom. Them legs just going.
But we all know it take a special type of person to be a Marine. Yeah, it really do.
It is.
And they
messed with the wrong one.
They did. He had
he
time
kicked that
today.
fool in their knees, and he went. Now who on their knees?
They pulled that service issue weapon out and was about to fake blow his head off. I said, "Oh, okay."
But I did enjoy the fact that here is that what you were talking about earlier, Dr. Strickland, with the siblings coming together and having a good relationship, like how they came together and swooped him up, like, "Come on, let's go."
They did.
I felt like I was in my old days. Something that popped off when we had to
right.
up. Now, what I will say is, for him to be in the role he was in, I feel like they could have dressed him a little bit differently. Cause he had so many differing images. Like, I felt like he should have had an edge of bad boy in him, so that we could have just saw, not like,
I know what you mean,
street bad boy,
yeah.
but
the way they had him dressed was very Poindexter,
conservative,
and not prim. Not, that's not the word I'm looking for, but military men can look a certain way. Military people can look a certain way. That's not what I was getting. I was getting Poindexter. Like he was Stefan Arkell or something.
I was thinking Carlton.
Yes, Carlton.
But even Carlton had a little swag, though. I'm not,
Yeah.
when you go back and look at it now as an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. Carlton had a little swag.
Alfonso was coming out a little
I
bit.
see your crease.
He was. But I agree with you, Dr. Jones, that, they did kind of just come and let's get up out of here.
Left baby. Baby don't
I
even know what happened.
He don't know. He didn't know until he got home.
He
What
rode the
happened
bike.
out
He
there?
rode the bike.
That's true.
Because when I was looking at him, I said, man, this escalated quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how it is at the club when a fight go down. It just go from 0 to 100. You be like, wait, what?
Man, I went to a party once and my brother came. The brother that's right up under me. Shout out to Liddell. It popped off. Knocked out somebody. We was on the floor for about 5 minutes trying to get out because they was firing. I said, well, I guess we just gonna sit here and watch the guns, because I'm not getting shot over these people.
Okay.
And what? Well, I'll wait till we get to that part.
Okay. So then, after the club, they're back at the house. And then,
well, before then, Quentin was fussing at.
Oh, that's right, on the ride back. Quentin was fussing at Claude about like, dude, like, what in the world are you doing? And then Claude got back with him though.
Yeah, he did.
He was like, oh, just like you getting upset with me,
I'm gonna get upset with you. Like this when we got to see the hothead.
Because he was still mad.
He was.
Even once they got in the house and explained to baby what had happened. And of course, baby always makes sense in the midst of his ridiculous siblings.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was like, you don't act like that and put out a weapon. Our sister's there. That's when you saw the hero Quentin.
You did. So then baby goes on to tell the rest of his siblings, like, I don't want y'all telling mom that I sing. And he kind of talked about why he was afraid of them telling her that he sung.
He blamed it on Quentin. He said, it's because of you.
You left.
Which he did, which is the same thing that happened with
Their father.
So, she's afraid that the men in her life abandon her, that they choose music over her.
Well, this goes back to when we were speaking in another session on how he didn't want to live his life because he didn't want to be I don't know if it would have been a disappointment, but you think, okay, so he didn't want to be a disappointment to his mother.
Yeah. That ain't gonna work.
One of the things that I wrote down in here was I said, I wonder, did she in some way also drive him away?
Who, Quentin?
No, Madeir. Oh, Quentin and Senior.
What makes you think that?
Well, if she didn't want them to leave to pursue their music, I can see it more so happening with Quentin, maybe over Senior, but like her fear of you leaving, like, ends up making you leave.
Yeah,
even
she
like
shuts down and
That
gets
self-fulfilling
aggressive,
prophecy and stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was kind of maybe not the full, but played a role.
Well, I can see it with Senior too, because she has 6 children. So how you just gonna
that's
leave
a burden though.
me? Yeah, you just gonna leave me with 6 kids?
I know, that's a lot.
Yeah,
And they was babies.
Man, And then I was thinking about, so when Senior left, like, did that put Quentin in the fatherly role? Because we still don't know how much time passed before Joe came into her life.
But even if he would have came immediately, he would have had to warm himself into that role, you know? So I think it still would have been a power struggle between him and Quentin.
I think with Quentin's situation, he was in that place of wanting to escape just as bad because of being left and not wanting to deal with all that. Being the oldest, he's like, I don't want to deal with all of this. And then being rebellious and angry because he got left too. So I think he did what was best. He clearly is an avoidant.
Yeah. Man. Okay. So then the next morning comes, and what we called this in college was the hoe stroll.
Walk of shame.
But she's kind of trying to sneak in. And I think it's so funny how they see, you know, they got Joe kind of stringing up the Christmas lights, and she's sneaking like in the cartoons where they go behind a tree and then they go behind a light pole. And you know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, she's small enough to fit behind them.
She was. I thought that was kind of cute. And then Mama caught her. She thought she could sneak past Mama. And Rosie was trying to help her, like, come on, girl, go. And Mama was like,
Kelly girl, you could at least say good morning.
Good morning, Mama.
And then sends her off to go tell her siblings that breakfast is ready.
This was another one of those, you know, those having a adult child and you still respecting your mom or your parents' house like that, you know, because even when I go home, if I'm not going to come home, I mean, if I'm going to come home late, I'm just not going to come home. And I'll just call and be like, hey, I'm not going to come home.
Yeah, she didn't call though.
Yeah, that's true.
She was just out there in them streets.
With Mr. Gerald.
She had a good night.
She did.
Ho, ho, ho.
And then this next scene with them at the tree, behind the tree, I just did not understand the purpose of this scene.
Oh, you skipped, what's her name, right?
What's her name?
Kelly walking in on Malcolm talking on the phone.
Oh, that happens here?
Yeah, because she went to go get them for breakfast.
Oh, that's right. And tell them that it was, yes. Yeah, this is when she suspects that he's cheating.
Yeah, and she looks at the, no, she don't. That's later.
But she looked at the caller ID.
That's
later. Oh, that is later. Okay, yeah.
But she heard that he was going to go somewhere.
Oh, yeah, because so she officially put 2 and 2 together because of the phone call he was on and then seeing the call ID later. Yeah. So then they kind of cut to them buying a Christmas tree.
They do the family pic and then they do the tree shopping with the brothers.
Yeah, and I thought that scene was weird. I was like, first off, why is the customer service rep getting in the picture with y'all?
They probably take it every year. You know, it's something they do. But I Junior was getting on my last nerve. So you don't stop throwing this dang tantrum. This man been doing this since he got here.
That's one ugly tree, Mr. Joe.
I know. I was like,
oh, I couldn't remember what he said.
I was like, really? You just doing too much. Grow up. And then again, this movie has many cut scenes, so they are jumping back and forth. So while this is going on, the ladies are also at home
wrapping the gifts.
And this is where they're having some sort of discussion, and it comes out where
you're talking about the walk of shame.
They are, and how you don't want to end up pregnant, and you know, Lisa kind of makes a statement like, you know, you don't want to. It sounds like she's kind of hearkening to her own life.
Yeah.
But, you know, she says you don't want to wake up, be a teenager and wake up and be pregnant and then
end up with another one.
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
Which then I guess that kind of emotionally, like, ugh.
It shocked everybody. It shocked her.
I think it shocked her too.
Just say that.
She said it out loud.
It's like, oh yeah, that kind of hurts.
I'm glad her kids went in there.
I know.
And it made me wonder, did she not want to be with Malcolm to begin with? Like I wonder if they're just a hookup that went too long. Like she didn't have the emotional strength to not leave him.
With Malcolm, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't poke holes in the condom. Cause he that type of dude.
Trap you.
Cause it worked both ways.
It does.
It does. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Then Mr. Gerald shows up.
It's Santa Claus.
As Santa Claus.
Lisa take old buddy to the airport. He come in and get her from the girl time, and he asks her like, "What you talking about?" And then Santa come.
Yeah.
Oh, see, all this stuff kind of happens at the same time. Because I got Gerald and then the airport. That's kind of what I got after that. But what I was writing about Mr. Gerald, I said, was this sweet or creepy?
I feel like it was sweet. And the only reason why I say that is because, we have talked about this in other sessions, but they never left the kids alone. And it's something that he already was doing because he's a firefighter. And so he already had the suit. It ain't like he went and bought it and he doing the most. He was like, hey, they got kids. Let me just stop by right quick. And plus, I really was feeling her. What cracked me up, though, was my dear talking about,
that's nice and all, but
watch him, with the kids and stuff.
I mean,
her voice, I love that voice that she did right there.
I feel it, though.
Exactly. Versus when we talked about Sparkle and Sparkle getting to do a whole bunch of stuff she shouldn't have been able to do at her age.
Right. True.
Yeah.
But I like that he made a little excuse to see her to give her back a bracelet.
And to see her.
Santa.
So then, they have their little banter and they little, flirtiness. Yes. You can see the sparks are definitely starting to fly there. Then they cut to Lisa and Malcolm, her dropping them off at the airport. I'll tell you one thing that irked my soul about this. Many things irked my soul about this scene. But I was like, y'all just going to leave y'all vehicle? Just walk away from it? Like,
that's back in the day.
I say you could not. Nowadays, they like, no. Move.
You gotta jump out of the car. You can't stop. Just keep going. Jump out of the car.
I said they parked in front of the airport and they just walked away and had like a whole conversation. I was like, oh, you can definitely tell this is not 2020. But I was like, man, Malcolm is such a snake and a con artist in this movie. I was like, the way like he plays on her desire to be important and be seen
and be his partner.
It's just, and to be equal. Yeah. Like you said, to be his partner. Yeah. I was like, it's just so snake.
Yeah. And the thing is, she knows it because she was like, do you mean that? And when I heard her say that, I said, my heart broke for her. Yeah. Because you know that.
Yeah. You're just trying to validate it.
Yeah.
But he showed that he really is just telling her whatever she wants to hear. Because when he got ready to leave, he didn't say, I love you. She brought that up. And as soon as he got on the little escalator, he was already on his phone. I'm like, dude, come on now. Why are you with her?
Yeah.
If she really don't bring nothing to the table.
Yeah.
Why you with her?
Yeah. He want the capital.
That's it. Oh, snake. Okay. And then, again, these scenes are like bing, 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 bing. So I've got Claude calling his girlfriend. And he's, who we believe at the time is his girlfriend, but who we later learn is his wife. And
so that's why I said, why didn't the family already know about her? Because they were married.
They'd only been married for 2 weeks, though.
But still, you introduce people as your girlfriend.
But this is the thing. You got married to her. You didn't tell the family that you was even dating her. So that's what I'm saying. He already know how his family is. So I can see that he's like, I got to ease this on them. Especially if he is the problem child of the family. Really, for real, which is probably why he went to the military. So I can see him being like, okay, I need to do this my way. But the reality is he been there less than 24 hours. He has not had no time alone with his mama. And now old girl done left her phone up in the
hotel room.
I was going to say the apartment. Up in the hotel room. So he can't even get in touch with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just too much going on there. But I was just like, you know, it would have saved him a lot of trouble if he would have just been straight up with his family from the get-go.
Yep.
You know, when you first started feeling this girl, hey, mama, I'm dating this girl.
Right.
Because then it makes me wonder, like, well, how often are you communicating with your family?
Not often, because remember, they said they didn't even know he was coming. I mean, we're going to find out why, but so he been not doing what he's supposed to been doing for 2 weeks.
At
Was
least.
it 2 weeks? I didn't even
They
know
had
that.
been married for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. It's like at least 2 weeks.
I thought you were talking about in the military.
Yeah. And then kind of also going on at the same time, Madeir, you know, she's just afraid to, and be honest, and live her own life, you know.
And Rosa was telling her, she was like, why don't you just tell them?
And she avoided that whole conversation and talking about them dang frozen grapes.
Because she had gotten a card or a postcard of some sort from Senior, and she was almost giddy when she got it. And I was like, but then what do you feel for, do you love both of these men? Like, what is the thing that's kind of going on in your head? Why this man has hurt you to the point to where you're afraid to allow your children to live their lives?
See, I felt like her relationship with Senior was probably incomplete. Because, like, he probably just never came back. So she probably just had to send divorce papers, or however they divorced, you know, to him wherever he was.
Yep.
You know, and so it was like he never came back. They didn't have a conversation, perhaps, about we getting ready to get a divorce, you know, whatever. It was just we getting a divorce, or she decided to get a divorce, and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's if she even was able to send him paperwork. She may have just had to file it without him even signing it.
There's probably no low
default.
contesta.
Man, that you're true. You know, the thing that I kind of wrote in my notes was that, you know, living your life for others will, you know, kind of leave you longing and reminiscing about a fantasy.
Say that again.
Living your life for others will leave you longing and reminiscing about a fantasy.
Wow.
Because that's what she's got with Senior at this point. It's all fantasy. She did live a life with him, but what's going on now is she's got a fantasy in her head, and she is not living the life that she could be living because she's stuck in that world.
Because it almost makes me wonder if he would have come back, would Joe be out the picture?
She probably would have did that, but I feel like her kids wouldn't have allowed that, except for Junior.
Possibly. Then some shenanigans start. Because isn't this when Mo and
Lisa find them?
Yes, Mo and Dude find Lisa and say, "Hey, here go your friends that was beating you up early in the movie." And they proceed to try to, you know, talk to him about the money and whatnot, and you know, kind of how you was trying to run and all these kind of things. And the cops show up to arrest Claude, and
Because he's AWOL.
yes, because he's AWOL.
That's not why they
For
arrested
the,
him.
for the fight,
The
for
fight,
the pulling
but
the
they
gun.
did find out that he was AWOL.
Yeah. So then, while they're
What-
at the
that's-
courthouse, they find out he's
And
AWOL.
so that's what
I
I,
mean,
was
at the
getting ready.
jail.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Like, I have never, and maybe because I have never been in that situation, but I've never known people to get arrested for fighting at the club or pulling a gun out. Like, how did they even know?
Probably the cameras. That was a huge club, and the
Oh.
people probably attempted to press charges or whatever. No, the club owner, because when
Oh yeah, he did
later.
say, yeah.
That's what ended up happening. But you know, once you get in there and you start running stuff, it's automatically gonna flag that you belong to the government.
Right.
So true. And I was like, how in the world? Well, Lisa thought these were she thought these were Quentin's friends.
I don't know how.
I was like, how you feel comfortable just getting in the car with these two men that just flagged you down? Like, they just flagged you down somewhere on the street.
I think it's only because her brother was there.
Yes. but yeah, it was just a lot.
And she the fixer. Like she playing a role.
She was.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I was like, in this car ride, y'all are giving up all kinds of personal family information in this car ride. Because didn't one of them say that? Dude said it. He was like,
well, not to get in y'all business. Well, then don't.
But then I was like, but y'all putting all y'all business out there.
Right.
All
y'all
of it.
Y'all need to wait to have this conversation when y'all get to the station.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they were really friends, but they not.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So then again, there's lots of scenes going on.
Oh, and that's when he finds out that Madea and Joe have been together this whole time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Living
Oh yeah,
living
because Lisa
together.
does tell him. She's like, dude, Joe lives there,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been living there, but Madea just won't tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's a small little scene where you see Claude's wife just kind of
Laying on the
Chilling.
bed.
laying on the bed and being sad.
Mm-hmm.
So then again, same time, Madea is she going off.
And she said, sit up when I'm talking to you.
Yeah, she going off on everybody. She was like, y'all went out while I was asleep, and I was thinking, but your kids are all adults though. It'd be different if you had a bunch of 16, 17-year-olds that just snuck out of the house. I was like, you got like a 30-year-old and like a 28-year-old. Like
your youngest is still grown.
Yeah.
Your kids got kids.
Right. I was like, it was like they don't need your permission to go out if they want to. And plus they all went together. So if anything, that was the safer thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, she puts a lot of faith into Quentin. Because she had said that he was going to handle the situation up there with Claude. I said, man, you can really see that he just kind of slides right into that.
She wants to be rescued.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By your child.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But that's all. This is also the scene where trifling Malcolm calls to, talk to his wife, but she obviously has gone to the station, and we find out that he really in New York at a different hotel with Karen, butt naked, bucket naked.
Mm-hmm. Both of them.
Yes. And she was just rubbing all over his body.
And the interesting thing, because I don't think we talked about this when we were discussing earlier, the juxtaposition between his wife being a chocolate woman and his mistress being light skinned.
And we also I was just going to bring something
and
back
she was
up
a
from
power woman too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something back up from the beginning too. When Quentin first came and they sat down to have dinner, when Madea walked off and did whatever she went to do, she said, Lisa, make sure you take care of him.
Oh, Quentin.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all remember that in the beginning?
Mm-hmm. I do.
And so I'm like, why does she need to take care of him? He grown, and that's not her husband. See, y'all put her in this position right here.
Yep,
they did.
She receives it every time.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of comment on what you were just saying, I think I've said this before. There's a YouTuber that I follow named Chrissy, and
I listen to her.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of videos that she's made about men sometimes. And I don't mean this in any kind of disrespectful way, but black men sometimes using dark-skinned women like as starter women.
Starter pack.
Yeah, like as the come-up woman. And then like once I've kind of gotten myself established, then, then they move on to lighter-skinned women because it's more socially acceptable and socially, desired to be with a light-skinned / racially ambiguous woman.
It's that one drop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what it comes from, like being able to, because I think the whole racial thing started in the 1700s when they had to like rate how black you were as a slave and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah.
So there's a lot there.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It was
like she was. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Like, she was the opposite of Lisa in pretty much every way.
Even though they was both bomb. You know, even she was trifling, but that's not the point we're talking about right now.
Yes. You know, because she was a career woman. You know, she was making money moves. And she was take charge.
Yeah, she really probably was the alpha of their relationship. She probably just let him feel like he was the alpha.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there.
Yeah.
You know, we could probably talk another whole hour about that. But no, that was not a good position for her to be in.
Nope.
So then while they're at the jail or the police department or whatnot, Claude finally talks about, you know, what's been going on. And they learn that he has been dating somebody and is married to this person.
And she at a hotel by herself.
And she's at the hotel by herself and has been
the whole time.
Also during this time, there's some shenanigans about Kelly, and Madeir has said, look, I need you to cook. Like, I'm discombobulated. I'm just over the top. I need somebody to take over the meal. And she was so flustered that the one that can't cook, she told
everybody knows she can't cook.
She told her to cook.
She should have just ordered something.
She should have.
And y'all should have stopped. Wait till y'all.
She was trying to make gumbo, wasn't she?
I don't know what she was.
Because that's the only thing I can come up with. Because they had the sausage, they attempted to have the Holy Trinity, and they was trying to make a roux.
I didn't know what that was.
I was like, what kind of gravy slop is this?
I was like, this not gonna be good.
And because first of all, she didn't even let the sausage and the bell pepper saute enough.
Because I almost said Keith, but
he was like,
Keith.
that's not done.
He's like, it said 10 minutes.
Oh Lord. It looked like they had just cut it up and put it in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I loved his little like comments in the back. That was kind of like the little voice. He was like, "That's not done." I was like, "You're right, Devin. You're right." Or Devon. See, I didn't mess it up.
Devin.
Lord Jesus, I'm sorry. So the family, well, Quentin and Lisa bring who we learn is Sandy, Claude's wife. They bring her to the house, and I was like, this girl was something else. She was so like, I'm about to meet the family.
She was so excited.
The whole time, I'd have been pissed. Like, they would have met a completely different version. They would have been like,
I would have had to apologize. I'm so sorry.
But I don't know if I would have done that to the family. Now, as soon as I saw him, I don't care when I wouldn't have saw him. Ending or not, he was gonna get the business.
I wouldn't have been disrespectful.
I wouldn't have been disrespectful,
like that,
but I would have let them know that I was upset at the fact that I'm just now meeting them, or that he didn't introduce me, or I'm having to meet them like this.
Yeah,
well, you know, you can sell people a bill of goods.
You can.
Yeah. It's a surprise.
Yeah, because one of the things I wrote, I was like, if you secretly marry a person that your family literally has no idea exists, how close are you really to your family? That's just a question.
But he is a middle child.
And I was like, you would go AWOL because you didn't get leave? Like, that is that's a hothead, impulsive, almost dare I say bipolar.
And first of all,
decision. Like,
you didn't need leave. You could have married her and went right back to work.
Yeah.
And then got a couple of days off.
Like, if you called your family and said, look, I can't come home for Christmas, I'm not able to get leave, do you think they would have been like, no, you need to leave anyway?
But the thing is, you've been on leave for 2 weeks. So you AWOL. Not just like, oh, I was missing for 24 hours. You AWOL in the Marines.
Right. And I was like, you did that just so you can spend Christmas?
That's what I was going to say. Like, why now? Because you hadn't been at home for a while. I mean, I'm assuming it's because you wanted them to meet your wife, I guess.
And I didn't even look at his his rank on his outfit.
He seemed to be low rank.
Yeah, I didn't. I just, because when he put his uniform back on that last time,
he didn't have a whole bunch.
I just saw the sleeve, so I didn't.
Yeah. And my thing was like, did you and Sandy not talk about this before? Like, before this happened? No, I'm talking about before you went AWOL. Like, the two of y'all didn't talk about this. Like,
yeah,
you did.
she knew.
That's what I'm
That's
like.
that. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm holding you accountable. Babe, you're not going to mess up your military money because that's going to go in your file. Right. And you're going to probably get your rank busted down. We ain't got time for this. You in the beginning.
That's if they don't kick you out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is these decisions?
Both of y'all don't make good choices.
I was just gonna
y'all
say,
don't
both
need
of
to be
y'all
married.
No,
y'all clearly are not prepared and ready to be married. If you are making these decisions 2 weeks in.
Yep.
2 weeks.
Day one.
Yes.
Because he went AWOL for the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just been living it up out here in these streets.
Lord Jesus. And I was like, while this was majorly impulsive, I was like, did he get this people pleasing thing from his mama? Because he went AWOL because he didn't want her to be sad. That was one of the things
he got that from his sister who raised him.
Okay.
Which is Lisa.
Gotcha. Because he was like, I didn't want her to feel bad. I didn't want her to, feel sad. I was like, what? You messed up your entire career because you didn't want this woman to be sad. Like, where'd they do that at? Clearly in this Christmas, but
make better decisions, people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that next scene is when we find out like the details of like how they got together and the fact that she's actually pregnant, but she's the only one. Well, her and Mel now are the only people that know that she's pregnant. Her family is not accepting of Claude because he's black. Shout out to Beauty Shop because I keep saying it like, is it because I'm black? But that's a lot. You in an interracial relationship, you AWOL in the military, you
pregnant.
You
literally
are
just
the only white person in this family system.
And your husband in jail.
It's a lot for one day.
Right. Man. But what I will say about this scene, the acting was horrendous.
You know what?
It was atrocious.
I didn't like her acting because I felt like
it was so fake.
Mel was still being Mel, like snarky, sarcastic, and comforting self. Because she was the same way when she was in the kitchen cutting up that sausage.
Well, I loved Lisa because she was like, I'm gonna keep drinking because somebody said this ain't funny. I'm gonna keep drinking until it is.
She was done at this point.
Exactly.
She like, look, I'm over all y'all. Yeah, I just was like, somebody needs to go back to acting school, but I can't throw shade because I'm not an actor and I don't know how hard it is. But
you are a consumer.
I am, and I was just like, ooh, cringe. But okay, so then we go to Kelly and Lisa. And they sitting outside.
Girl fight.
This is when Lisa get that mirror.
Boy. Yeah. Kelly, when we talk about she
ripped her
bombs over Baghdad, her.
She said to her sister that you are pretty damn pathetic. Who says that to somebody when they down?
Yeah, she did.
And somebody you love.
And it's because we find out that Lisa already know he cheating on her, and she just staying because she don't feel like there's anything else out there who gonna want her, and she's not even thinking about her. She thinking about who gonna want her.
Right. Yeah. I thought about that too. I was like, wait a minute, what? First of all, when you leave him, please take some time to yourself.
I need you to want you.
Right.
Yes. Heal before you enter into a new relationship. Please
go to school for accounting.
Right.
That's what you're doing anyway.
Okay. And you already working in the business, so do more in taking over the business. You become Madeir in at least in that particular sense. Like, you just take the business on.
So interns, if you are in a situation like this, we're not telling you to divorce your spouse, but what we are telling you to do is take a look at you. And think about what you need. The thing is, you don't need a spouse to succeed. You don't need a significant other to live your life. You can learn how to live your life on your own. Now, will it be easy, especially in the beginning? No, because you have to adjust. But you can make it.
Get you an exit strategy.
So then Quentin and Mom or Madeira are off in a little room talking, and she laid. But these next few scenes towards the end of the movie is all truth bombs. Okay, guys, there's nothing but truth shots coming out. Madeira is laying it out for Quentin like, look, boy, you don't know what Joe been doing up in here. So keep your mouth shut.
You ain't been here in 4 years.
Yeah. This man has been here for me. He has supported me. He has, as Dr. Wall has said, covered me. Mm-hmm. You know, he has been more things to me than like you could ever imagine. So like you need to just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, you ain't been here.
And you ain't been here.
Which she shouldn't expect him to, because he's her child and he's an adult.
Yeah, but he ain't got no say, is what I'm saying.
No. I knew what you meant, but like I'm just saying for them to know that it needs to, she shouldn't expect for him to be there either. You know.
And I didn't like how he kind of threw baby in there. Like, I kind of feel like, are you trying to deflect this off of you? A little bit.
I think he's just trying to be
that she need to go talk to baby
about why he
won't tell her.
But I feel like it wasn't that he was deflecting. He just trying to be a man and he don't know how to be one. Like you trying to problem solve, but you ain't doing but saying what the problem is. Where is the solution, sir?
Yeah.
You over here.
Well, you know, she had just given him some truth, so he ain't had nothing else to say.
No, he didn't. One more thing though, when we was talking about Regina and Kelly fighting, why Regina be fighting so hard in her movies?
Because she pushed her so hard. I was like, Regina, you pushed her for real. Lisa, you pushed her for real.
It reminds me when she was fighting in Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock. Like, she be fighting hard. And I'm like, I think she really be hitting people.
I thought the same thing. I was like, man, she pushed her hard.
The way they was sliding and slipping.
They was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. So here comes now Lisa drives off after her and Kelly's fight, and she gets to some part of the city,
LA River.
LA River. And you know, this is when I was saying, we've said this before, interns, in different sessions, you cannot play with people's emotions. There's a reason why there's a show called Snapped. And
this was her moment.
This was it. But this was her awakening as well, like the phoenix, you know, rising out of the ashes.
Which was still a deadly awakening.
It was.
Yeah. Yes. And although what her sister was saying to her was harsh, it was the mirror that she needed to wake up.
Now, when you standing outside crying, looking at the river in the rain, it's not okay.
Yeah, like hard rain. Not like it's misting. It's pouring outside. And then you proceed to let your husband's like $80,000. No, he said it was $60,000. His then $60,000 Navigator Escalade. 1 and 2.
It probably Escalade, but he loved that car.
Yes. She just let it drive right on over the ledge
and didn't care. Just walked on off.
I know. I was like, how did she get home?
That was purposeful.
Taxi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I almost said Uber. I said no.
That didn't exist.
That wasn't here yet.
But I was like, when I was looking at the scene, I said, this is what happened when you reach the edge of your sanity. You know, that's what this looks like. Like if he had been there, that would have turned ugly. So, you know, thank God he wasn't there.
It's quiet, but this also gotta worry about.
This is also, for me, it's also something that we communicate with you all to let you know that you have to have a dialogue. Don't let this stuff continue to grow and brew and just think you're gonna be okay. You have to have dialogue. You have to communicate with people when something is bothering you, when something is not okay, so that you don't get to that snapped moment.
She had that sacrificial love, and the only thing being sacrificed was herself.
Side note, though, one thing that let me know that Regina King is a good actress, that lip was quivering real good when she was standing there just staring off into the distance.
She's been in some classics, though, so I just be like, man, she is a method actress.
She is. I said, it's hard to make your lip quiver and like it look real. I was like, man, that's some good acting right there.
I'm like, who hurt you, Regina? We will get them.
That woman is a wonderful actress.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So then Quentin is leaving as usual. He's at the train station.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's something pertaining to that. One of the things that I didn't like that Quentin said to his mama is when you wake up you won't have to worry about it because when you wake up in the morning, I won't be here. Classic manipulation.
Low blow.
Mm-hmm.
So you just trying to flip the switch. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that, sir.
Right.
And she had class because I'm if that had been my mama and brother.
It would have ended differently.
It would have ended horribly differently. And I just been like, well, I'm going to go sit on the couch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But were you going to say something else?
Mm-mm.
Okay, gotcha. So Quentin's sitting in this train station and
I was going to say something else. I remembered.
Okay.
So right before this scene, you can see Quentin Jr. going around setting stuff up. You can see him going and getting Joe's clothes and putting them upstairs. You can see him making sure that everything is set up because what's that boy name?
Forgot that.
Baby and Joe come back from the police station because Joe done called in another favor from a corporal to try to see if he can try to get him out before he has to go report to I can't remember which fort he was going to, but they said it in the movie. And so they come in and he says, yeah, you gonna go on up there and I'll come up and say goodnight to you and my dear in the bed. And Joe was like,
because that's when
in your mama room.
That's when they met Dude and
Mo. And he knew that something wasn't right.
Right.
And I appreciate, even though it was wrong the way he did it, I appreciate that Quentin made sure that his family was protected.
Yeah.
And that Joe was where he needed to be. Mm-hmm. He still shouldn't have left them jokers in his mama's house, but I appreciate that he at least tried to set something up.
Yes. And I think that's when Joe knew that something wasn't right with Dude and Mo.
Yeah.
I think he peeped that the second he saw them.
Yeah.
Because he's some randoms.
Yeah.
He's like, this you do this often.
Uh-huh. He like, I know you done got caught up in something. Hootie Doos then showed up.
Right.
Looking for you.
Randomly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. His back was up against the wall. That's the only reason why he accepted Joe in that instance.
Yes.
But I can appreciate that he did that. He set his family up. And then that's when Medea found out that Baby had something he needed to tell him.
Right.
Because him and Quentin was in Baby's room when he was making everybody's Christmas gift. Mm-hmm. And he was, they was talking. He was like, you need to tell, Medea. And she...
Tell me what?
Right.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that Baby gave it to his mama. Like, I appreciate that. The only thing is, he shouldn't have been cussing at her. Because, you die that way. But
he only cussed at her once. He said,
damn.
He said, you may not something, but you damn sure gonna listen.
And she said, I'm damn sure gonna
I'd have been dead, laid down on the floor somewhere.
Yeah.
But I appreciate, like, for real, whatever he said to her, because he called her out and talked about how
he did.
She is living in the past, and you got a good man here in Mr. Joe, and that's why you're not happy yet. You're not doing what you need to be doing, and we paying the price for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some good lyrics.
Yeah, it was. Because what I wrote about that particular scene was, I said, this is what communication looks like. I said, now he told the line of
he lost a little toenail.
Yeah, he told the line of disrespectful. I said, but this is what it looks like when you fully communicate what's in your heart and in your mind. Mm-hmm. And you do it in a way that comes from a place of love. That was truth with compassion. Because he could have annihilated his mama.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
But that was truth with compassion. Even though she didn't like it, but he still did it that way.
But see, that again, we said that in the session before, that when you tell someone the truth and you speak your truth, it doesn't mean that they're going to like it. Yeah. Expect for them to be hurt.
Mm-hmm. So this is now the part where Quentin is in the train station, and he opens up the present from baby and sees the pictures and everything, and I guess he's maybe having an aha moment here. So he goes off to the restroom, and
did they hit him in the back?
They pushed him into that glass.
Oh yes,
because it was like I was like, I don't know what just happened here.
Because we was looking at him through the mirror instead of looking at him.
Right. So Mo and Dude show up and push him, and basically they're trying to like shake him down at this point. Like, look, we tired of messing with you. Like, we need our money. And then dun 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 dun.
Insane income. Well, who is it? Joe.
Joe. In comes Joe, and saves the day. And basically tells these dudes like, I know y'all both some suckers.
He done took that gun. He took Dude gun.
Like, he like, look, y'all ain't about nothing. Take this money that I'm offering you and go on about your business now. And they did.
Yeah, no
reluctantly.
He's talking about some, can we have our gun back?
You know, he typically plays somebody dumb.
Who, David Banner?
Yeah, in movies.
And he's
super smart.
Super smart.
But he played dumb people.
He's so smart. And very socially conscious. But I was like, man, Joe is such a good dude. Like, you went out your way again to cover Quentin to make sure he was all right. Like, you just gave up 10 grand. Probably your own money.
Yeah, because don't nobody else know about that.
Right.
But Quentin still in his own way, snatching paper towels and stuff. I didn't have to give you no paper towel, sir.
I know. I was like, why are you being a baby?
Yeah, grow up. And then he still left them.
I know. I was like, that's so selfish and self-righteous. You know, I was just, it's just so many things. I was like, that was so disrespectful to your family and especially to Joe, because this man literally
got out of the bed because he had night clothes on
and saved your life.
Yeah. And again.
Yeah.
Because previously, Mo and Dude had been talking about, well, if we don't get this money from him, so some other person was going to be, because I think they owed money to
whoever their
somebody else. Like, you know, there's a hierarchy or a trickle that comes with when you get involved in stuff like that. So like Joe came in and like saved you, and you still acting like a 12-year-old 14-year-old boy that's mad because you took my game controller or whatever. I mean, it was just mad disrespectful.
Yeah, I felt bad for Joe because it was like, you know, like you said, he possibly gave up $10,000 of his own money to only turn around and feel unappreciated.
Yeah. And he got money. Because he get that little stipend. He got that stipend.
Okay. Lord have mercy. So then we have a small little scene with Kelly and Gerald here. Where he doing his own little walk of shame. Or walk of pride.
They just slept though. They didn't do nothing.
No, they didn't.
I think that night all of the girls had some like
everybody was booed up.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Kelly's with her children, but yeah.
Right.
Lisa was with her children.
Yeah,
that's right.
But I did like this scene. I was like, I'm glad to see her letting go and being free and open to the idea of whatever they could be.
Making space for him.
Yeah.
Because she don't need him.
No, she was like, you want me to get you a ticket?
He's like, I can buy my... And I like the fact that he was like, I can buy my own ticket.
He said, you better... Okay, come on.
He said, I just need the invitation.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Okay. I was like, yes, go girl. And then comes one of the best scenes
ever. Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to say that when they were talking, Gerald and Kelly, he kissed the soul out of her. He said, let me tell you about this little crazy looking freshman, ninth grader.
I love that. And
fell in love with her then, actually, but she never recognized him, and then he laid it on her. I said, you better go after your crush.
Okay.
Come on, little love story.
And that it worked out. Little meet cute story. Enter. See, this is when I wish I had sound effects on my voice. Enter one of the best scenes
in
in Black movie history. Lisa.
Yes, Lisa.
Is looking snatched.
She is my bodyguard.
Like in this lingerie. Her no, it's not the negligee because it's bra and panties. But in her lingeries. And Malcolm gets home gets to Madeire's from the airport. You know, she like, baby, go ahead, relax, take you a shower, calm down.
Yeah, get that airport. You miss me.
Get that airport off of you.
Yeah, get that airport off of you. So he like, ooh, I'm about to get some. So he get in the shower, and simultaneously as he's undressing, she is dressing. And he gets in the shower, and she, goes and runs to Madeire's room and said, "Can I get some baby oil?" "Yeah, baby, it's right there."
A whole bottle.
Because I'm going to need it.
Yeah. He asking where his car is. And she's like, "Oh, in the LA River."
He talking about what this lady talking about.
And he opened the curtain, see that his wife is standing there, whom he thought was about to be naked, is now fully clothed. And she's like,
"Step outside.
Come on and step outside so we can talk about it."
I'm sick of you, Malcolm.
And unbeknownst to him, the floor is slick with baby oil.
And if y'all failed chemistry, water and oil do not mix.
No. So he go to slipping and sliding all over the place like a fish.
And she go to beating that
with a belt.
Yes.
Ooh,
she was whipping him.
For real.
Like, not like, I'm just going to whoop you.
Like her arm was moving.
Yes.
Up and down.
Because I was like, when y'all say Regina King fight, I was like, she hitting that man for real.
Yeah. I
You
wonder
can't
how his
tell
little
me.
light skin was, after this scene. Because I know he had little welts all over
I
his
was like,
body.
because she hitting him for real. There ain't no way you could tell me that she not. Them ain't sound effects. She is hitting him.
Now, did anybody else look at him when he was taking his clothes off? Not like that, but look at him having on that black tank top and being like, man, he's Cuban.
I saw the black tank top, but I didn't pay attention.
Because you don't see that often. You don't see the like.
See, I think because I was so disgusted
non-white
with him, I just didn't pay him no. Ugh.
He's
But I got you.
I was like, okay, come on. Look like he's about to salsa dance.
Yes. But she towed him up and it was hilarious.
And then ran off.
And redeeming all in one. And then
so I guess this was on a Sunday because they went to church.
Yeah, they was getting ready for church.
Getting ready for church. And Kelly and Lisa, she finally admitted to her sister that she was right, all along. And like Dr. Jones and Dr. Wall have both been saying here, sometimes that's what you need, the hard truth. And she got it, and it finally sunk in.
And she thanked her sister for that.
So then we have the church scene, right? Which is
when Chris Brown sing again.
Yeah. So this is one of the final scenes in the movie. So I was like, man, Joe is a good dude. I was like, you just can't get over it in this whole movie. Like, not once did he slip.
No,
not once.
But I wonder how he knew Baby could sing.
Because Baby probably confided in him.
Yeah. He because he was a father figure.
And he pays attention.
That's true.
So then Madeira, she want to stand up. I don't know if she wanted to leave or say something.
I
don't
was
know.
about to
say something.
And then he was like, let me redirect this.
Yeah. He was so smooth with it. Like, he better be smooth.
And you put all of that attention on her. So now you got to sit down and do your Miss America wave.
Yeah.
And just sit on down.
She's just seething.
Yes.
And then here comes I don't know if it's arguably the best or on par with the original version of This Christmas. Sung by Chris.
I love him.
By Chris Brown.
I think I like pretty much all of them. What I will say, because I can't never just look at the foreground. I always got to look in the background. What was wrong with the music minister's braids?
Girl, I was like, them is looking real,
sad.
And then the
Old girl
Hispanic
wig.
girl was acting like the non-dancing sister in Sparkle. She
Oh,
was
Lord.
like, ma'am, you're supposed to be looking out that way, not looking at the person singing. You over here idolizing Chris Brown instead of it being Baby.
I would have been too.
Now when you get that coin though, I need you to get your coin then idolize.
I would have been too big. Chris, can I dance?
The
I'll
whole
dance.
time, eyes just like this while you sing and just cut to the side.
She wasn't even doing that though. She was
know.
like full pivot
Yeah.
to a point where
It's
they
all
were
right.
swaying to the left. She was swaying to the right.
You know, whoever was beside her was like, girl,
It was
Get it
please.
together,
The
please.
white lady was like just happy.
oh my God, that's hilarious. I was looking at old lady, the soloist or the lead singer, her wig. I was like, whew.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was a horrible wig.
I was like, man, that thing is super shiny. And she had that flip with the bang.
That thing be thangin'.
Oh Lord, it was a lot going on there. But of course, Claude shows up, and then I was like, this next part, I'm like, this is so weird. Like everybody just gets up in the church. I was like, is it because he's saying the shake a hand part? Is that why everybody in the
Maybe.
church got up and
We
started
just gonna
walking
say
around?
it is
Yeah.
to make it make sense.
So I was like, why is everybody up?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like, what's y'all making me uncomfortable? So this is when where Medea learns that Baby can actually sing really well,
and she got over herself.
and she did.
Because she started crying.
Mm-hmm. And then it's the last scene in the movie when they're all at the dinner table. Well, they do the little Soul Train line, but it's not really part of the movie.
No.
So then they do the dinner scene at the end, and they're all saying things that they're thankful for and what they appreciate and everything, and giving accolades to one another. And in walks
Junior.
and of course Medea is over the moon.
Because she surely said, Queen, like she just didn't see him yesterday.
Right.
Loretta be on it.
She does.
She's an excitable person.
She is. I imagine she is like her Waiting to Exhale character in real life. Like that's how I imagine how she really is.
Yes.
But she was over the moon. But what I loved was that he finally,
Past that authority.
yes, gave Joe the respect that he deserved for who he had been in their family, and gave him the head of the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the family, like everyone saw, like, oh,
It
the
was a
baton
shift.
is being
Mm-hmm.
passed, proverbially. But I loved that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
and I was like, oh, Medea can finally rest. Her heart can finally,
Mm-hmm.
She
Move
finally
on.
married this man
yes.
because he was trying to marry her.
Oh, I'm sure. Ain't no telling how many times he tried to probably get her to marry him. But yeah, I appreciated that whole, just the whole thing. The way they wrapped it up at the end. That okay, like we're a family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then of course the comedic relief was the whole Soul Train line, and where people was themselves and not their characters. And I was like, oh, these people are fools.
After I watched that, I was like, oh, David Banner was missing from the Soul Train line.
He probably was doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, hold on.
David Banner and shoot, I can't think of. It don't matter, but somebody else was missing too.
Yeah, but it was cute. I thought the Soul Train line was.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's a cute way to end the movie. Chris Brown did not dance as much as I was like, why is he not like really dancing? Because Chris
Where's the
Brown
Soul
can.
Train? Well, neither was
Columbus.
say Christopher Columbus. Columbus short. But what I thought was hilarious, and I did not recognize this when I have watched this previously, is how Lauren London, that's her name, was dancing on Idris, talking about.
Oh, I saw that too. I was like,
She was shaking. I
I
said,
said,
okay. They talking about, here come the hood. I said, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that.
I know. That's really new for real.
That is her for real. Like she is a one of them good old round the way Cali girls.
I loved it. And we hope you love it too.
Must be this volume control.
So, okay, interns, process your notes. Be sure to catch us next session and find us on all major platforms at The Recycled Podcast.
If you're a new intern, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Thanks for listening. And remember, we are shifting and reshaping our psyche through healing conversations and connections, one discussion at a time.